Hi, everybody. My name is Jason.
My name is Caden.
I'm Jaden.
I'm Nicole.
And we are the YHWH and the Torah channel. And we thank you for joining us on this first day. It is a Sunday on the Gregorian calendar. It is a day of the sun, the Sol Victus Day, the day that the Roman Catholics changed the day. What day was it, Kate?
It was March 7th, 380 something.
No, it was 321, wasn't it?
It was 320 between
March 7th, 321, when Constantine changed the worshiping day of keeping the Sabbath, and they decided they were going to all keep it with the Sol Victus, which is the day of the sun. So if you are out there serving our Creator on the day of the sun, it's actually not his day, and you actually missed it. So everybody who's part of this channel knows that the seventh day is the Shabbat of our Creator, and things have to go in cycles of 7. And so these lunar calendars and all these other calendars and things that start weeks in the big, when you have 3 days for a week and then you have another Shabbat, it takes things out of the cycle of 7. So we are in the first day of our Creator's calendar, and we appreciate your time. We know that you guys could be doing a tremendous amount of stuff other than this, and this is very valuable to you. So first thing first, boys, without looking, I am going to give you a little pop quiz here. All right, who wants to begin the first 10 commandments? Nobody's looking here. Okay, what do you got?
Bear fruit.
Got it?
Multiply.
Yep,
Replenish the earth.
you got it.
Subdue it.
100% so far, son.
Have dominion over the animals.
Whoa, you got it. Okay, commandment 6.
The seed bearing fruit is food for you.
The herb bearing fruit, that's good enough. I'll take that.
That's 6.
It's 6.
7 is master sin.
Oh,
12.
doggone
I think
it.
it's 12.
Okay, Jaden, start again. No, you can't look.
Oh, I can't look?
No, you can't look now.
Oh, I thought it was-
I'll look over it with you. Okay.
Bear
Jade,
fruit.
Got it.
Multiply.
Yep,
Replenish the earth.
got it.
Oh, you just said it before. Subdue it.
You got it.
Okay.
Lucky. Okay.
All herb bearing.
Gotta have dominion over.
Have dominion. All right, let's go through the first 10. Be fruitful. Multiply. Replenish the earth. Subdue it. Have dominion over all living creatures. The herb bearing in every tree is for food. Man and woman should build their own families.
Oh, that's what I messed up.
Master sin. Every moving thing that lives shall be food for you. Don't eat the blood.
I was trying to remember it by stories, how it went. I forgot in between there he tells them to join together in one flesh. I knew I was close with the master sin. It was just
Yeah, well, it's close, and so these are important. We should know these. This is we know what the 10 Devarim are, and they are the 10 Commandments. And the Christians will say, "Oh yeah, we keep those. Those are the 10 Commandments. We do keep
Moral law.
the moral law." Well, is that true? Because the 4th commandment says to keep the Shabbat,
Keep the Sabbath
to
day.
keep the Sabbath day, and for most of the time, that's not on the
Break it.
There's a lot
Yeah.
more morally you should do. You should be a lot more moral than just those 10, I feel like.
Yeah, you should definitely not drink the blood, not eat the fat. There's things of that nature. And so that was the last commandment. We didn't actually add that. We kind of slacked our work yesterday, but we have commandment number 51, and commandment 51 is what?
Do not eat the fat.
Don't eat the fat. And it also reiterates that we are not to
Drink
blood. Why?
Because life is in the blood. There's something special that Yah created with blood, and he obviously doesn't want us drinking it. It does something special. People will drink it and they
Well,
get younger.
when you bleed out, you're dead, right? If you don't have blood, the blood is what, oxygen flows through your system, and without blood to your head, which is crazy, right? Without blood to your head, you can only go without oxygen to your brain for just a little bit. And that was the crazy thing about drinking coffee, is it eliminated 52% of your blood flow in your brain. It basically rewired your entire head. And for those who still drink caffeine, we would strongly suggest that you look into that. First of all, foremost, caffeine is a pesticide. It is in the plant of itself, and there's videos on this channel. You can research it. But when it's in danger, when the coffee plant is in danger, it releases the caffeine and kills all the bugs around it. And it makes the bugs all go haywire, and they just can no longer function. And so we are actually, not only are we drinking the pesticide, but when they brew the stuff, when they actually roast the beans, they're putting chemicals in there as well. And that's why you end up with like a ton of oils and things like that in your coffee. It's not a good thing when you're getting oils in there. So I don't know what day I am, but I will tell you I am completely way better than I was. I have no headaches anymore. I would have to say, for the most part, minus today, I have a lot more energy. I feel a lot better, and I'll tell you what, I'm sleeping like a rock. When I do sleep now, I was having, prior to before giving up caffeine, I was having some really restless nights. And that's the thing when you did the research, or when we did the research, when I did the research on this, it found out that even with 1 cup of coffee a day, it converts that caffeine into this stuff called praxilethine, and this praxilethine stays in your system all night long, and your brain never ever shuts down. And so as your brain never shuts down, you never have rest. And our entire body, when we go to sleep, we need rest. Our brain needs rest, and even though we're dreaming and that part is alive and well, we need to be resting the other things. And for those, the Grand, she is still doing it. And who was it that? Carla. We don't know Sister Carla.
Clarissa's doing it.
Maybe Clarissa and Carla, whoever our dear beloved sisters are that are stopping caffeine as well. The Grand says she was a little cranky, drinking her tea, and Graham, it will go away. We you just hang in there. Anybody who's stopping the caffeine, it will end. I was the glutton for punishment. I was drinking 9 cups a day at least prior to me just stopping cold turkey, and I had a solid 7 to 8 days of just massive headaches. Day 2 was the worst. And if I could stop this, I know you guys can stop that. So maybe that is a little bit of encouragement for everybody out there who's trying to get their bodies in line the way that Yah wants us to have them. Okay, so let's get into it. It's updated. Okay, Nicole has updated this. I don't know if it refreshed on mine. We will see if it did. And there it is right there. So commandment number 51 is don't eat the fat. It is a perpetual statute for your generations throughout all your dwellings that you eat neither fat nor blood. All right. Gentlemen, how you doing?
Good.
You guys survive your Shabbat? Did you guys get rest?
Yes.
Everybody feel better?
Yes.
Got some naps in?
Yes.
Restful day? Anything occurring this morning? You guys have any issues?
No, just tending to the cows.
Tending to the cows? How do the cows look?
Better.
Better?
Better today, yeah.
Yeah, so down here we have these, I don't know if they have this everywhere, but we have things called fly larvae. That get into the cows, and it creates giant bumps.
Well, kind of like, you have pop kind of like zits.
I think they're called screwworms.
Screwworms. Okay, so thanks, Nicole.
Yeah, cows will bump into stuff and they'll like cut themselves open. Like whether it's like really small cuts, and flies will just like lay an egg in there, and there'll be like a worm that grows inside of their skin, and you have to like pop it out. It's real gross.
Kinda like a zit.
Yeah, the first time we did it, the first time we saw people do it, it was really, really disgusting. Once you are familiar with it, basically you just grab a hold of it. It's like a giant zit, like you say, and you squeeze it and it blows a worm out. Sometimes it blows blood and worms all over your face,
And then you spray a spray on it, which like heals it up.
It's like a disinfectant and an anti-pest, for the bugs.
Anti-parasite. It like
Yeah.
basically stops the fly from coming back to them.
Yeah, and so it is, our creatures of our Creator are amazing. They are very resilient, all of us. And, back to my hand, for anybody that was, I got bit by a dog last week, and I am mostly recovered. My left hand got completely mangled, and I think I had like at least 20 little bites in it, and I did not know how this was going to recover. I can almost make a fist right now. So the healing properties of our Creator has not only designed the most amazing creatures out there, but He's created us that we can heal up, right? It is amazing that we can take our arm and cut it and sit there, and in a couple of days it starts healing up, it scabs up, and it repairs itself. And when people think there's no Creator, or they're like, I'm not going to go to the magical guy in the sky. I always point people to creation and the beauty of creation and the genius of all of it. I mean, I could not create us the way we create. Just looking at men, and men have Adam's apples, and men have, just the incredible design of all of the way that men work and women work. And, I was thinking about hair the other day. Hair is like our head on our hair, it gets wet after showers, right? It's the only thing that really stays wet on us, and it's dead skin, right? And so same with fingernails. It's the fingernails are like dead. Whatever is growing there is dead. But if we rip our fingernail out or hurt it, when we look at why do we have fingernails?
I don't know. Maybe grab things.
Protected layers,
protect your
scraping.
finger.
I don't know.
No, it's the absolute tools. It's the best tools you got. You can
Itching?
you can itch, you can scratch, you can do all sorts of stuff. Without fingernails, we would have no tools. Imagine that. Now, what about fingerprints?
This is for grip.
For grip, right? We don't know why that we have fingerprints except for like some stuff, grip and feeling. I mean, you can feel if something is smooth or if something is rough. Little itty bitty tiny details are the stuff that our Creator has figured out, has designed. Imagine if we only could breathe in our nose and we couldn't breathe in our mouth, right? We'd plug up our nose and we'd suffocate.
Yeah, if we
Right?
get colds and stuff in our nose, we'd die.
Yeah, and I was talking to Cade the other day, and I said, hey, try drinking and breathing at the same time. He said that's not possible. So every time that I've been drinking, I've been breathing. I take a big drink, and I'm sucking down the thing, and I'm breathing at the exact same time.
Breathing. I don't know about breathing in. I've never exercised that.
Try it. It works. I can breathe in, and I can drink at the exact same time.
Every time I've tried it, it's never worked.
I know, and Nicole says, surprised I'm not choking. It works. Imagine that. And we know that from our nose, it runs up into our head somewhere, and then somewhere else our mouth goes down. Two separate pipeways that do two separate things. Imagine down here, guys, if you didn't have nose hairs, right? What would happen? Bugs. Yeah, we'd be sniffing bugs all day long, and we'd be like,
flying up your nose, you'd be having issues.
Yeah, and look at our ears. Our ears are like little antennas, right? They're like, if you didn't have like the little round ears that you guys have, they're antennas. If it was just flat and you only had a little tiny hole in the side of your head, you wouldn't hear anything. But because of the way your ears are, you're able to hear waves. You're able to pick up stuff, and imagine that. Try to design hearing, guys. Try to design something that could hear. How would you even begin?
I don't know. There's like eardrums and parts of the ear. Somehow you got to be able to have people hear and understand it.
And all it is some way that I am talking to you right now. I'm articulating with this tongue that our Creator has given to us, and you're picking up vibrations, and the vibrations are bringing it back to audio, right? You're able to understand what I have. That is amazing stuff. So anyway, there's always amazing stuff with our Creator, and there's always reasons to praise Him and to be happy. Now, we switched out of the Sefer, and I don't know if Dr. Stephen Pidgeon and the Sefer has gone to the dark side or what it is, but we had a version 22 of the Sefer app, and inside of John, it says that Yahuwah and Yahweh are the same people. It says, Yahushua says, I am Yahweh.
It says, you called me Master and Yahuwah, and you are correct. And every other translation says, you called me Master and Lord, and you are correct. And you call me Master and Adonai.
Teacher.
Yeah, and it's not that. Yahushua is not Yah. It is the Son. He's the Son of Yah. And I don't know what people really want the Creator to come down and our Creator to have died. Right? They're like, oh yeah, Satan killed the Creator. What? What are you talking about? This is the most omnipotent, powerful being ever. It's so powerful we can't even see his face correctly. We'll probably die. And how would a created creature kill the Creator and him rise back? It didn't make any sense. It makes sense when the Son is the one who died. All right, let's begin. And so this is a new version. I don't like as well as the Sefer, but it's okay. So Emissary of Elohim is the one that recommended this version, and I looked at it, and so we will go with this. What is this version called? What is this thing called? TS 2009?
Yeah, it's the Scriptures.
The Scriptures 2009, and we got it from somewhere off YouTube, from the...
It's called YouVision.
YouVision. It's off the
Bible
Bible
app.
app off of the Google Play Store. So for anybody, it's free too. This version is free. And Emissary of Elohim says, you can go get the RSTNE or whatever it is version of it. But that's like $90, and that's for rich people. I wouldn't even know what I'd do with $90. That's crazy. So there's no way we're actually going to be able to pay $90 for a Bible app. And I find it incredible that I understand that people have to make money off this stuff, but there should always be a way. And I guess I'll go off on that on the United and Yah stuff. I mean, these guys just cleared $150,000. And they closed the entire seminar down to only the people that could pay for it. And, in fact, the problem was they mixed religions. All their different speakers that they have, our brother Paul Nissan, he believes that Yahweh and Yahushua are the same people. And he vehemently makes videos over and over and over and tells us how basically stupid we are if we do not believe that, and how out of the spirit we are, and all this crazy stuff. When the Bible clearly states without a shadow of a doubt that Yah is separate of Yahushua. Yahushua says it over and over and over. And we don't want a Messiah that goes against the principles of his dad. If we have a Messiah out there who is Yah, and he says he's the son of Yah, then he's a liar. And then that's a huge problem in of itself. So we just got to keep what it is. Let the scriptures define themselves. Let's read it. Let's let the Ruach HaKodesh do his work. And let's begin Leviticus 5. Let's see if we can find any more commandments. All right. And when a being sins in that he has heard the voice of swearing and is a witness, or has seen or has known, but does not reveal it, he shall bear his crookedness. All right, what do we got there? Somebody swearing it up?
I don't think it's swearing. I think it's more like taking a vow.
Taking a witness.
So is swearing breaking the commandment? Is literally dropping bombs?
Like cursing.
Cursing. Is that breaking commandments?
I would say that it might be.
You shouldn't have foul language like it talks about in the New Testament. There shouldn't be foul language, but there's also
What leads to foul language?
heat of the moment.
Anger, exactly. Eli got it. Eli's joining us. Hey, Eli.
Hi.
How you doing, buddy?
Good.
You made it? That's good. Okay, yeah, so anger. So if you are getting to the point of swearing, that means you have not controlled your anger, which is not good. It's not good for yourself. It's not good for your heart. It's not what our Messiah did. And, Brother Todd Bennett did a newsletter yesterday, and he says, the Christians have made Messiah Yahushua almost like a girly man. They have him painted as this real frail guy with long hair, almost looks like a girl at some level. But he's like, this was one of the toughest dudes out there. This was the dude that was fighting up the Sadducees and the Pharisees, right? This was no girly man. This was a man's man. He even told his disciples, if you do not have a sword, go sell your cloak and buy him. And they're like, well, we have two. Is that enough? And Messiah's like, yeah, that's enough. But this dude was the guy that flipped if you imagine a girly man going and flipping tables with a horse whip, and these people would rode on him, right? This dude was angry enough and tough enough that these people did not want to mess with this guy. And it is what it is. So anyway, swearing, it's not against the Torah, but it's probably not something that we should be doing, and it obviously pollutes our mouth and pollutes our mind, and we're in areas where we shouldn't be, obviously. All right. So here, so somebody swears and
Swearing as is a witness.
So this would be a command if we lived in the land, right? Is this a command? I guess that's a question.
I mean, if you see someone that is a witness, that is a wicked witness, and you know the truth, or any matter whatsoever, and you hide the truth, I mean, you're gonna get punished for it according to Yah.
I think this would actually be a commandment. So in the NIV it says, if anyone sins when they do not speak up, when they hear a public charge to testify regarding something they have seen or learned about, they will be held responsible. This completely brings me back to the story of Gardner, Danny, and Manny. And we had some evil Christians down here that would they let this child be molested, and they put a video out on YouTube. And we didn't know anything about this. We went and we saw this video on YouTube, and these guys confessed to raping a child, and on the YouTube video. And the child went down for murder, and Boss Clan, we would not allow that to happen. We saw that video, and I'm like, this kid was the victim, not the guy that killed him. And so we actually we got ourselves in a tremendous amount of trouble. It cost us, I don't know, $20,000 at least in attorney's bills and various things. So we went to try to save this child, at which point by the end they flipped our house over, and they flipped the entire script, and they raided our house over this whole thing. So, but we did just that. So I think this is a command, guys. Anyone?
Yeah,
Anyone with me?
So I think that's like don't let sin that's not seen go unpunished.
If somebody's sitting there and they hurt somebody else, and you've seen it go down, you can't remain silent. That would be evil. All right, so yeah, that's a command. So I think that's 52. All right, let's go to the next one. All right, so, or when a being touches any unclean matter, or the carcass of an unclean beast, or the carcass of unclean livestock, or the carcass of unclean creeping creatures, and it has been hidden from him, he is unclean and guilty. All right, what are we talking about here? What is a carcass to begin with?
I think that's a dead body, right? Like a body.
It's something dead, right? So if somebody touches anything unclean beast, unclean livestock, I mean, basically, if you touch some dead stuff that is unclean, even not, I mean, even a human body, they're.
That's on your next one.
Oh, is it on the next one? All right. So, he is unclean and guilty of it. So would this be a command? It says he is unclean and guilty. So you're still going to be unclean. And a lot of this is going to be ceremonial stuff, right? Like if you had touched a carcass and then you tried to go in the temple and your bells would be gone, you'd be dead, you'd be laying in a pile. So, anyone, I need a quorum of thoughts here.
Yeah, I think this is also a command. I think we're gonna get like over the commands.
But what is the command? It just says
You're
we're unclean.
you're unclean if you touch a dead body. I
But
don't.
I think we get into cleaning here soon. I think.
All right, let's go to the next one. Let's not give up on 2 yet. Or when he touches uncleanness of man, any of his uncleanness by which he is unclean, and it has been hidden from him, when he shall know it, then he shall be guilty. What does this say? If you touch a human uncleanness, anything that would make them unclean. What are we talking about here, gents?
Or when he touches uncleanness, I like the
Uncleanness of man. What does that mean?
Maybe dead body.
dead bodies. If you like,
What about another person that's unclean? What if you touch them before nightfall?
I think you'd probably be unclean as well.
Yeah, I think you.
So if you had, I mean, what are we dealing with here? So human uncleanness. If they touch human uncleanness, anything that would make them unclean, even though they're unaware of it, but they would learn of it and realize their guilt.
So basically, this one here is like if a man's unclean, if he touched an unclean body or whatever it was, a carcass, and he didn't know, and then he finds out that he's gonna have to do the guilt sacrifice.
Right. So this would be. I mean, I think the very first one is a commandment, but I'm not sure what you would do here. I don't know what you would actually do because we don't have those sacrifices. Let's go into 4 and see if we can figure this out. Or when a being swears, speaks rashly with his lips to do evil or to do good, whatever it is a man swears rashly with an oath, and it has been hidden from him, when he shall know it, then he shall be guilty of one of these. Okay, what this is a
Confusing
complex.
because he swore to do that, but he doesn't know.
Well, speaking rashly with his lips, that's just some dude he's going to go, I swear to God, or something of the sort. And Father, forgive me, I know that's a pagan name, so I shouldn't say that. Okay, I'm just a little confused here myself. Anyone? Nicole?
I don't know, but it's just talking like they're guilty. What does that mean?
Right, they're guilty. Well, they're at least unclean. I mean, if you guys touch it, I mean, should these be in the commandments that if you touched filthy Eric, the swine guy, or ate some of his filthy food, you would be unclean, right? You shook his hand, you would technically be unclean. Right. And that's funny too because I'll run into this. So this evil Eric guy that we talked about yesterday, he loves to take his pig fat and boil it up. He's a cook and he puts his pig fat in all this food. Well, we were getting into the Torah and we used to buy his food, but then we found out he put pig fat in everything. And so we were so repulsed by this guy that one time we went to this little cell thing that we had, and Cade, filthy Eric, went up and tried to shake his hand, and Cade was freaked out. And he wouldn't shake his hand because we knew he's unclean, and we discuss this all the time that the guy is sitting there basking himself in pig oil.
Like he would almost make it his job to mess with us over being unclean. Like he would literally come up and try and touch us on purpose, or like do something. I remember one time his son, who was an adult at the time,
filthy Eric's
he'd
son.
like put like a hot dog next to us. He was just like he was real. They were real filthy, real nasty.
They loved it. They love to provoke people, and that's why he's evil Eric, and he will always be evil Eric. It doesn't matter how good this guy gets; he'll always be evil Eric. All right. So I don't know on this. So if we touch something, we become unclean. Let's run on to 5. And it shall be when he is guilty of one of these that he shall confess that in which he has sinned. All right. So if we're unclean, you need to confess, and shall bring his guilt offering to Yahuwah for his sin. This is a new translation here, so it's spelled differently here. So, a new offering to Yahuwah for his sin which he has sinned. A female from the flock, a lamb or a female goat as a sin offering, and the priest shall make atonement for him for his sin. Okay, so this is something that we wouldn't have a female goat, right? We have Messiah Yahushua. So if we become unclean, or if we touch filthy Eric, the pig guy,
we repent using
we need to
blood.
repent using the blood of Yahushua.
And there should be a thing where we clean here, like where we go bathe in the river. I don't know if it's in this chapter or maybe the next, but there should be something where if you're unclean, you go bathe in the river.
Right. All right. So this is going to be complex. We're going to probably have to debate this one when we're done. And he is unable to bring a lamb, and if he is unable to bring a lamb, then he shall bring to Yahuwah he who has sinned 2 turtle doves or 2 young pigeons, one for a sin offering and the other for an ascending offering. Okay. And again, we don't have those because we have Messiah Yeshua. And he shall bring them to the priest, who shall bring near that which is in for the sin offering first, and nib off its head from its neck, but not sever it.
It says ring off its
Ring.
head.
Okay, ring. So what are we talking? What is this?
The turtle dove. You gotta
okay.
ring its head off.
I was gonna say, well, if there's something like a goat, how are you gonna ring the neck of that thing? Okay, so we have a bird, and you guys understand what that is, right? It's kind of gruesome, and I mean, this is how I used to shoot geese when I was a youngster, and sometimes the geese wouldn't die, and they were really violent animals. You'd have to grab them by the neck, and you'd have to spin that whole thing around. And,
They're big, aren't they?
They're huge. They're huge, and they're huge birds.
Remember, Papa had one hanging on the
Oh
wall.
yeah.
Yeah, they're huge. Okay, so anyway, we don't sever the head. So there's something about that as well, because there's other things that we're not supposed to, that on the other sacrifices we're not supposed to cut them open the same way. The offering is a little different.
I think it's the way their intestines are built, because there's the intestines where all the
We have
excrement
experience.
is.
We had to kill birds for our dog to eat as well. So, Caden, what's the inside of a bird look like?
Inside of a bird, just like there's like stomach, but it's like a little lower. It's like higher than it normally is on a cow. If you saw a cow, it'd
And
be
they have
much
little
higher.
tiny hearts and little tiny.
They're absolutely tiny.
Everything in there is really.
Unless
tiny.
you get like a vulture or something. This is like a basic, your average little raven.
Or that's not even a raven. The
I don't
birds
know
we
what
were
it was.
shooting
Just a
were
little
like,
blackbird.
yeah, it's a little tiny bird. Like raven would be much bigger. But we tried to avoid the vultures feeding the dogs because they were just very disgusting creatures, and we know we're unclean.
We call them the sky pigs.
They're sky pigs. Yeah, they are the sky pigs. They're disgusting. All right. 9. And he shall sprinkle some of the blood of the sin offering on the side of the slaughter place, and the rest of the blood shall be drained out at the base of the slaughter place. It is a sin offering.
Mine says altar. Slaughter place is altars.
Altar?
Yeah.
Slaughter place? Okay. And he shall prepare the second as an ascending offering according to the right ruling, and the priest shall make atonement for him for his sin which he has sinned, and it shall be forgiven him. But if he is unable to bring 2 turtle doves or 2 young pigeons, then he who sinned shall bring for his offering 1/10 of an ephah of fine flour as a sin offering. He puts no oil on it, nor does he put any frankincense on it, for it is a sin offering. Okay, so this is something for poor people, right?
Right.
So if you, I mean, I guess turtle doves. I don't know how much a turtle dove would cost, but maybe that's for rich
A
people.
lot cheaper than a lamb or goat.
Well, turtle dove's cheaper, but if you don't have a turtle dove, then the best you do is you
flour.
find flour.
Here's a little trivia for you: is that if you read in the book of Matthew and throughout the Gospels, you'll see that Joseph and Mary, when after Yeshua was born, they brought 2 turtle doves to Kohen, showing that they weren't actually the rich people. They actually brought little doves, showing that they were actually poor.
Yeah.
So if you want to know where Yeshua came from, he was actually from a poor house. He did not have like the goats and stuff. He came from a very humble family.
All hail those in poverty. All right. Let's roll. So, did I do that one? 11,
We're on
right?
12.
12. All right. So, somehow I've just done it. I don't know what I've done. All right. Hold on. All right. And he shall bring it to the priest, and the priest shall take his hand filled with it as a remembrance portion and burn it on the slaughter place according to the offerings made by fire to Yahuwah. It is a sin offering. And the priest shall make atonement. I've done it again.
What is it?
I don't know. It's a
I think
little
you just
copy.
clicked the screen or
I
something.
think I did. I don't know what I did. But anyway, learning the ropes of the new app. I just like my suffering.
13.
It's too bad they went to the dark side. And the priest shall make atonement for him, for his sin that he has sinned in any of these, and it shall be forgiven him. And it shall be the priest's, like a grain offering. And Yahuwah spoke to Moshe, saying, when a being commits a trespass and has sinned by mistake against the set-apart matters of Yahuwah, then he shall bring to Yahuwah as his guilt offering a ram, a perfect one, from the flock, with your valuation as shekels of silver, according to the shekel of a set-apart place as a guilt offering. All right.
What is it? Is a kadosh place, holy place? What
So this dude commits a trespass.
against a holy place?
Does that say holy
I
place?
said kadosh. Yeah.
I don't see holy place.
Set apart.
When anyone is unfaithful to the Lord by sinning unintentionally in regard to any... Am I on the right one? It didn't even sound like the same version. In regard to any of the Lord's holy things, they are to bring... Okay, penalty of... So, see, this only says it commits a trespass. I mean, if a soul commit a trespass... And yours says what, Jade?
Mern says here, if they committed trespass and has sinned mistake against the holy things, the holy matters.
Okay, I don't even know what that... I don't know how you would...
I don't even know what kind of holy
Okay,
matters.
so set apart matters of Yahuwah. It says the same thing on this one. Well, I don't know what that'd be. Because, I mean, if you mess around in the temple, you're dead.
Yeah, there was like no reason. I think this is more like messing. They like somehow like
Messing with the priest?
Yeah, like somehow like sinning against the Kohen or something, like it's like the priest and
Or maybe they did touch something they were supposed to in in the place. I don't know.
I don't know. There's just
But you got to get a ram. A ram, that would have been like expensive. That'd been
yeah,
for rich
that's like
people.
you really messed up. You really
Yeah.
got to go get that.
Yeah, all right. And he shall make good for the sin that he has done against that which is set apart, and shall add 1/5 to it and give it to the priest. Probably the priest he messed with. And the priest shall make an atonement for him with the ram of the guilt offering, and it shall be forgiven him. Okay, there's a lot of blood. And when any being sins and has done what is not to be done against any of the commands of Yahuwah, though he knew it not, yet he shall be guilty and shall bear his crookedness.
Wickedness.
Crookedness, wickedness, yeah, okay. So when any being sin has done what is not to be done against any of the commands of Yahuwah, yet he shall be guilty and shall bear his crookedness. All right, I'm just...
That kind of feels like a command, but it's not really. It's just like saying,
Because, like,
if you sin, you will bear your wickedness.
And
So-
we can't bring a ram to the priest right now.
Right, but we need to. People need to know that when we encounter evil Erics and they want to shake our hands, then we're unclean. That we need to repent. I mean, we do. I mean, those guys when they want to shake your hands, I mean, they could completely be packing around unclean spirits and evil and horrible evil things.
Yeah, demons and unclean spirits can pass through physical touch. There's like a lot of things they can pass through. They will cling on to one person to another. So you got to be careful who you are touching.
Yeah, and I mean, they will run off in a pile of pigs off the side of a cliff or something. You
I
know,
mean,
they're-
there's some powerful ones. Remember the guy ended up in a graveyard. That's right. That's the same story as where he threw out the pigs. The dude was in a graveyard, like cutting himself.
yeah, no
like, years.
chains could bind him. He's
He's like a superhuman at that point, but he's like super messed up by the end of it.
yeah, well, he's never going to be the same, but I think Yahushua healed him. Okay, 18 is where we're at. Mm-hmm. Then he shall bring to the priest a ram, a perfect one from the flock, with your valuation as a guilt offering, and the priest shall make atonement for his mistake he committed unintentionally, though he did not know it, and it shall be forgiven him. It is a guilt offering. He was truly guilty before Yahuwah. Okay, so that's that. The only question I have, I guess, is number one, I think, is a command. So let's read this again. When a being sins and that he has heard the voice of swearing. So this is like some guy that is like, he has basically admitted his guilt, admitted his evil, and you're a witness to it, and you've seen it. You need to take care of business.
Yeah, he will bear his wickedness.
He says he shall bear his crookedness, but what would the command be?
It's true. I think there's something about like I think soon we'll get to something else about not letting people not knowing sin out to the people. If someone sins, you don't say anything. You do that. There's a command for that. I think like not to like hide matters.
Right? Yeah, absolutely. Everything should be brought before Yah. Everything should be brought before the congregation. There should be no such thing as deceit and hidden stuff. I mean, that in the darkness is where evil men make plots. All right, so let's Nicole, I need some input on this whole thing.
I don't know. I was trying to read even further to see if there was more.
She's a ways away, so I don't know if anyone will actually hear her. She's trying to. So I don't know if this would be a command, but I mean it's going. If people are unclean, they need to repent. How do we get people to understand that? I mean, if you touch a dead carcass, we still need to repent.
Right, you need to ask for forgiveness for being that.
And then we're unclean until the evening.
Right, bathe at evening, and then
But once we bathe in the evening, then we'll be clean. So, I don't know. We'll probably have to debate this one up throughout the day here and try to figure this out because I do not know. Maybe Emissary of Elohim maybe can point us in a direction, or any of you guys out there that listen to this stuff. What do you think? I mean, we read it. We need to, we want to have commandments that we can all, that are able to keep. We can't keep the stuff with the temple related stuff, but everything that our Messiah Yahushua has replaced is things that we should have as commandments. So, Nicole's giving me the,
So this to me is like a guilt offering, just like our grain offering and our, what was the other one?
Grain offering and guilt offering and what is it?
burnt offering.
Burnt offering.
Grain offering. So this is the guilt offering. So this doesn't really apply to us today, but it does in a way.
Well, what about verse 1?
That one, yes.
It doesn't really say it's a command. It just says if you see something and you don't do anything
said-
about it, you will bear that
Yeah,
person's
so it's not
sin.
really like you have to.
This is something involved in the public, right? So it
Right.
says they hear a public charge to testify regarding something they have seen or learned about. They will be held responsible.
So mine
read-
says, if anyone sins and he is sworn to testify and has knowledge of the matter, either by seeing or hearing it, but fails to report it, then he shall bear his iniquity and willfulness.
This was extremely important back in the day because if you sin against Yah, Yah's going to curse you, and he might take out the entire tribe of
Like curse your
Yasharel.
land.
So
Might
you
not
got,
rain or
it's
something.
like if you like see someone sinning, you got to deal with it immediately, or else Yah's going to basically destroy Yasharel like he did over and over when people were going against him.
So what does this go today? I mean, we see this happen. Do we turn a blind eye and walk away?
You should always do what is right. What is the right thing to do? If so, you see someone that is like hurting someone and you like walk away and turn a bad eye and say, "Not my problem." I mean, you're part of the problem for not doing anything or saying something about it.
So that leads me back. What is the command?
If you see something, say something.
That sounds like the government, dude. That government ran commercials on TV all the time.
I know.
This snitch community. If you see something, say something. But this is, I mean, and it's all about retarded stuff. This is a good stuff. This is like important stuff.
It's like if you see your brother in sin, bring the matter to him. Let him know he is in sin.
Yeah, this is. We're probably gonna have to debate this. I don't really know. Anyone have anything? Jade, you got any input on this? Eli, you're real quiet.
It
I
doesn't.
don't
It
know.
doesn't give a direct command. It just says you will have the sin of that person if you don't do anything about it. I believe there's something else here we'll get about letting people know about other sins. Like don't let matters go untouched. Don't be hidden.
That's
So-
what I think later on
So
in Leviticus
so we
will
should
give you
have-
actually the commands.
Probably bookmark this and save this for
of
the
these
next
things.
when we find the command and add this under the command.
All right. So quorum of the family. Let's back to one. Is this a command or is this not? And if it is a command, what does it say? And it can't be if you see something, say something, because that's not what maybe it is, but
No.
maybe. I mean, who do you say it to, right? You take it to the corrupt police department across the world. They'll laugh at you, right? File a report. They'll do nothing for you.
Okay, so maybe
It's just for like the whole. This was for the holy congregation of Yasharel.
Yeah, if you want to stay
can't do
holy.
anything in this world right now. You can't do anything. You see someone doing something, it's like you have to wait. Like here in this country, you have to wait like 6 months before anything and file paperwork ever gets filed. And you're like, all right, now you got to wait like 3 years for anything to happen, and all your stuff's gone by the time that.
Yeah, no, we would actually have $20,000 to our name had we not gone after this kid that had been afflicted and owned, and nothing good has become of this. And
He's still stuck in jail.
yeah, he's
Prison.
still stuck in jail for a crime he did not commit. And all these group of Christians, they all fled out of this country. A lot of them did, but there's still a lot of evil ones out there. And
One of them died.
Yeah, one of them died. The main guy who was in this. One of these days, I'll post a video on this. We have an interesting video, and you can see why Boss Clan went after this child, and the viciousness that we took after all these people that had afflicted this young boy. So. Anyway, I don't have an answer. We're gonna figure this out today, guys. So I guess, do we say there's any commandments found today?
possibly commands found.
Possibly commandments found.
To be determined.
To be determined. TBD. All right. Well, that's it. I have nothing else. Gentlemen, do you guys have anything else?
Read your Bibles. We'll try and figure this out.
And if you guys have any input or ideas, please let us know down below.
Yeah, we're always looking for your guys' input on this whole stuff. And as we read this stuff, I guess the bottom line is that we are determining what the will of our Creator is, and in the time that we do make the kingdom, if we make the kingdom, these will absolutely be the rules and stuff like that. I don't believe we lose free will when the kingdom comes. So it is possible the people that make the kingdom could also turn to the dark side as well at some point, and we would have to correct them using these same kind of statutes and commandments. So I guess we'll leave it at that. Everybody, thank you very, very much. Our digital family out there, much love to everybody out there. Huge hugs, grizzly bear hugs from everybody. 40 paws up, and I don't know how many teeth are there, but the dogs say hi to everybody as well. So much love.
All right.
Shalom.
Shalom, everyone. Bye.